Hello everyone. In this session, we will understand how to do the vendor master setup in Onfinity ERP. Our agenda is to understand vendor master setup. The objective enables you to understand the vendor master setup and its associated terms in the context of business processes. The prerequisites for creating a vendor master in Onfinity ERP include a configured tenant in your environment. Organizations are configured in your tenant. Business partner categories are configured in your tenant. Payment terms, payment methods, and price list are configured in your tenant. The accounting book is configured in your tenant. Now, let's understand what a vendor is. A vendor or supplier is a business partner from whom you purchase products, services, or materials needed for your operation. For example, these could be ABC Trader, Wayne Enterprises, Bright Tech Innovations, or DevCast Inc. Let's move on to the system and understand how you can create or configure a vendor in the Onfinity ERP system. Enter your login credentials. If you want to create the vendors into the Star organization, then remove the filter since you have logged in with Sonic Ventures, so by default, you get only the option to generate in Sonic Ventures. When you create a vendor in the Star organization, it means it is accessible to all other organizations as well. Click on the menu and search the vendor master from the search utility. Alternatively, you can move on to the Master Data Management. Under the Business Partner Center section, you will get Vendor Master. Click on Vendor Master, and the system will open the window. The Vendor Master contains various search parameters, and it might contain certain mosaics or widgets that allow you to take decisions based on your vendors. If you want to view the master records, then you click on View. And on the left side, you would be able to see the filters. Based on these filters, you would be able to filter the relevant vendor quickly. If you want to go for the custom conditions, then at the level of the custom condition, you would be able to see all the fields which are linked with the vendor master, and you would be able to select anyone, and accordingly, you can search a relevant vendor master. If you want to create a new vendor, click on New Record, select your organization, and enter the name. For the vendor code, if you are using a certain series, then enter the vendor code, otherwise leave it blank. If you leave the vendor code empty, then a system-generated code will be assigned. Select the purchase price list from the drop-down. Select the payment term, payment method, and the business partner group. The business registration number and the tax ID, if there is any, then you need to enter those. Save the record. Once you save the record, you would be able to see the profile completion rate on the top, while on the left side, you would be able to see the vendor code, vendor name, rating, group, and business registration number, all these details at the header panel of the vendor master. Move on to the additional conditions. At this level, you would be able to select your discount schema. If there is any flat discount, you can define what is going to be the percent offered by the vendor. If there is a specific invoice format for this vendor, you would be able to select that. You can select the tax class. The tax class is covered in a separate session as well, and if you want to go with the further details about the taxes, then go through the relevant video. If there is any withholding applicable on AP invoice, then click on Withholding Applicable on AP invoice. If it is on the AP payment, then select the AP payment and just select the rate. Then you can set the vendor return policy. If there is any Incoterm related to this, then select that. If you want to select the rating, then you can select the rating. For any industry code, you can select the industry code. If this business partner is used for the blanket view, check on the blanket view. If this vendor is also a sales representative for you, then you can mark the vendor as sales representative. Save your additional details and move back to the header. Click on the location details, and you would be able to create multiple locations for this vendor if this vendor is in multiple locations. Click on New Record. Click on Directly Address, select the country, then the address. then it is the National Capital Territory of Delhi, and it is recommended to select from the existing value. Do not type the complete state and region since it is validated when the system is picking up the tax rates. Select OK. Enter the mobile number, phone number, fax number, and the sales region. Save the record, and you can see the name gets auto-populated by the system. If it is a billing address, then you can mark it as a billing address. If it is a shipping address, pay from address, or debit to address, then accordingly, you can set up the location. Move back to the header, and you can see the profile completion rate becomes 60%. Then enter the contact details. So, select Miss Rita Sahani. The email is rita@xyz.com. Enter the person's mobile number, phone number, and the location it belongs to. Select the designation and notification type. If you have any image of this contact, then you would be able to upload the image and save this record. Move back and your profile completion rate is 80%. Thereafter, click on the bank account details and click on New. If you have the bank account details of this vendor, then select the bank account, the bank, and the other details here. At the end, there are going to be accounting details. When you save the record of the vendor master, the system generates the accounting details automatically, and it copies all the ledger codes which are linked to your business partner group. So, move on to the accounting details. If you want to make changes in the relevant ledger code, directly you would be able to change here. Alternatively, if you want to change at the level of the business partner category and thereafter process, then come to the default accounting, make the changes at this level, and then you would be able to copy all these records to the vendor master, which are linked with this business partner category. That is how you would be able to configure the vendors in the Onfinity ERP system. That was all for this session. Thank you for attending.